Okay guys, here's my land paddle flex tester. It's a 3-point bending instrument, 2-foot span, 3-foot span, simple supports, pneumatic ram, calibrated pressure gauge, did the chart to figure out how much pressure applies 100 pounds of load. So it's set for 100 pounds of load. I go ahead and install the paddle. Since I'm interested in deflection, I have this digital height gauge. So I bring this up, 0, pull it out of the way, give it some gas. Once the forces are balanced, it'll stop moving. In which case I go ahead in here and I put this little guy in here. Bang, 2.48, I write that down, but that's not the only one I write down because look at, this is the low point, it's over here, right? So it's about here, that's about 2.7, so I'll write down 2.7 and I'll measure the distance here, it's probably like 165. So now I've got this dumb end of this thing over here, and the other end is supported on the other end. I kiss the bottom of that, hit 0, move it out of the way, give it 100 pounds force. And since this guy is a lot, this is the lower section of the paddle, and it's a pole, not a tube, it's gonna deflect a whole lot more. Once it stops moving, I'll go ahead and measure the deflection here. And if you remember before, we had about 2.5 inches deflection on the other side. This is almost 4 inches. And if I'm looking to see where the actual minimum is, where the actual bottom is, it's just slightly over here, just a slight bit off of the actual center. So the maximum here is about, I don't know, 40 or 50 millimeters away from the fulcrum, and we're at 3.9 inches of deflection. So that's what I plan to do for all kinds of different paddles. Here is the experimental set I have. On the left, I've got the Beach Mountain Handboard Street Sweeper that had the straight tube the whole way and the big ball on the end. And then this is the first Street Sweeper 2 where I worked with, changed the pusher tip, and I also started using the lower pole. And that's a 2-piece paddle that came in several sizes. Then the third from the left is the 1-piece version of the Street Sweeper. And then we get into the adjustables. The next two are the Street Sweeper, and that has the plastic grip and the skate tips. And then you have the Street Sweeper Pros, which they look exactly the same on the outside, except for the grip is different and the tips are different, but I know that we changed the layup inside the tubes. And then over here in the blue models, these are the brand new Subskate Race and Custom paddles. The Race is an adjustable, comes in 3 sizes, and the Custom is an actual 1-piece that's glued together. And it is probably the very best piece of gear we got. And so also, I'm gonna actually try to get some numbers for, this is a stand-up paddleboard, adjustable paddle that has a pusher tip on it. Then I've got the Kahuna bamboo. Then I've got the aluminum telescoping skate pole, and then this aluminum telescoping thing from Kahuna. And then we've got the Brap stick. I don't even know how I'm gonna test that thing because I don't think it's gonna work. And then we've got this newcomer Hydrus, made a really interesting looking paddle, 3-piece paddle, 3-piece adjustable. And then we're going to nature here. We're gonna use a piece of bamboo that is roughly the same size as the Street Sweeper in terms of diameter, length, and taper. And then I got a couple of wooden, broomsticks, and I'll probably go get a PVC pipe and humor the good folks who want to do this at Home Depot rather than buy something from us. I will get to work on this, and probably a month from now I'll have a bunch of information and I'll share with you some observations.